Straight ahead on WUTV News, campus police are looking for a man who attacked and robbed a student on campus. We have more details straight ahead.
And the university is making a major economic impact on the West Georgia region. We'll tell you how coming up next.
WUTV News starts now.
Welcome to WUTV News. I'm Michael Lewis.
And I'm Brittany Campbell. We have your top stories straight ahead, but first, let's check with Rebecca in the Weather Center. Rebecca?
Thanks, Brittany and Michael. We'll be seeing temperatures rising into the 80s this week and only a few chances of April showers. I'll have your 5-day forecast later on.
UWG police need your help to find a man they say robbed a student in the Murphy Building parking lot Wednesday night. Campus police say the student was getting into his car when an unknown male approached him from behind and began choking him. Police say that's when the man robbed the victim of his cash and fled on foot towards Center Point Suites. The suspect is described as a male about 6 feet tall with a slender build. The suspect was wearing a black t-shirt, black pants, and black and red shoes. If you have any information, you are encouraged to call the university police. The number is at the bottom of your screen. Some students may agree that paying for college can be quite expensive, especially when it comes to paying extra fees in addition to your tuition. Adrian Marshall explains.
Every semester, students are charged with mandatory fees to attend the University of West Georgia. These charges include athletic fees, transportation fees, and technology fees. With registration for summer 2015 coming up, I decided to find out just what students are being charged and why. I spoke with Departmental Associate Clint Backstrom at the Enrollment Center, and he says that most of the fees are to help with the upkeep of the university. He also states that new facilities are funded by the state and not from student dues. But what about students who don't use the services that UWG has to offer? Backstrom says that fees have not increased in years, but can, depending on the needs of the university. To get a better description of what you are being charged and why, log on to www.westga.edu/Barsar. I'm Adrian Marshall reporting for WUTV.
While UWG continues to grow, so does the economic impact of the university. The Georgia Board of Regents reports that in the last 6 years, UWG has created several new jobs and contributed over $450 million to the West Georgia community. Much of those funds also went towards the new construction projects such as the Tanner Medical School of Nursing and the East Commons.
As the deadline for filing taxes nears, the Internal Revenue Service is urging people to beware of tax scams. The IRS says most of the scams are happening by phone, where fake callers claiming to be with the IRS attempt to get personal information from you. Some scammers have even threatened police, arrest, deportation, and license revocation. The IRS says if you receive a call, to remember they will never ask for personal information such as credit card numbers or require you to make a payment using a prepaid card. If you feel like you've been the victim of a tax scam, you can call the Carrollton Police Department. The number is at the bottom of your screen. Several science lovers packed the Cedar Lecture Hall to witness a 3D printing demonstration. Trent Denson was there.
The Carroll community arrived and spectate a 3D printing demonstration by the Department of Physics. The machine itself is able to convert digital files into solid 3D objects. ITS employee Lawrence Rowe says that 3D printing has been around for 2 decades now, but has only become so popular now due to the realization of its capabilities. Reporting for WUTV News, I'm Trent Denson.
This week on People and Profiles, we'll be heading to the Squire Shop in downtown Carrollton. Keyshawn Kelly takes us there.
People in Profiles is here on Maple Street to highlight the Squire Shop. Owner April Harris shows us around. Take a look.
The new Squire Shop, as you know, we got to kind of develop it from the bottom up, and I feel like the Squire Shop has always been a classic men's store, a touch of rock and roll, I guess, and a touch of the outdoorsman. As you can see up top, we have our collection of Rolling Stones magazines, which we love those. We love antiquing. You'll notice throughout the store we've got lots of antiques.
Coming up next on WUTV News, Governor Nathan Deal signed a bill that could mean more students graduating from high school. We'll have the details when we return.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume, not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Those who did not pass the Georgia high school graduation test can now obtain their high school diploma. Georgia Governor Nathan Deal recently signed House Bill 91, which will eliminate any test as a requirement to graduate from high school. The bill also allows former students who did not pass the test after 1994 to obtain their high school diploma from their local school board. An article from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that nearly 9,000 former students could be eligible to receive their diploma.
People visiting Carrollton will now have a new place to stay this summer. The city is building a brand new Courtyard Marriott Hotel in downtown. Roger Newell reports.
The new Courtyard Marriott Hotel in downtown Carrollton will be located on Johnson Avenue behind the Carrollton Cultural Arts Center. Construction is still ongoing by Rowley and Associates, a contracting company who has completed various projects in the Carrollton community. Construction is expected to be complete by July 2015. I'm Roger Newell for WUTV.
If you're looking for something new to do this summer, you're in luck. The city of Carrollton confirmed plans for a new recreation venue in Little Tallapoosa River. The new location is perfect for people who are new to kayaking and canoeing. This new recreation spot will start at Little Tallapoosa Park and end near Hobbs Farm. This will give patrons about a 3-hour ride.
Several local companies and organizations raced in downtown Carrollton for the first soapbox derby in nearly half a century. Adrian Cook was there.
Several handmade soapbox cars raced down Bradley Street from Adamson Square as the Carrollton Dawnbreakers Rotary Club hosted its first annual soapbox derby. Event coordinator Olivia Gifford shares what makes the race special. Racers of all ages participated as the benefits went toward awareness of distracted driving. Gifford also says the Rotary Club is looking forward to hosting another derby next year. For WUTV, I'm Adrian Cook.
Stay tuned and we'll have more WUTV news after the break.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
This week, I visited Lowell Opry House right here in Carrollton. For 7 years, the local concert venue entertained West Georgians with talented artists both locally and nationally known. I sat down with award-winning singer and owner of the venue, George Britt, to talk about how his big dream became a small-town success.
It may not look like much is going on here, but on the first Saturday of every month, several people pack into the Lowell Opry House to check out some of West Georgia's best country musicians and comedians. The lead singer seen here is Atlanta Country Music Hall of Fame honoree George Britt and his band. Britt opened Lowell Opry House in 2008 in hopes of providing a stage for traditional country music.
It got to where it was a little harder to come by gigs, where to play our music and our style, and so we finally created a little bit of a following, but folks that didn't want to go to the club scene to hear the music. So that's when I came up with the idea to just build a venue and came up with the Lowell Opry House.
Not only can you listen to the George Britt Band, but you can also laugh your hearts out at their comedy skits and sing along to their guest performers. The venue accommodates 200 concert goers, and there are currently over 60 season pass holders. Britt says it's because Lowell Opry House brings something that other venues don't.
We offer a family-like atmosphere and, traditional country music and, just good, clean fun. And we do things that you can't hear on the radio anymore.
The Opry House entertains with a different theme every show, such as the tribute to the golden age of country radio. The next scheduled performance is May 2nd.
Thanks, Adrian. If you're looking to learn more about some of West Georgia's best-kept secrets, WUTV's got you covered. Here's a sneak peek of one of our newest franchises, West Georgia Treasures. Take a look. To see more of these episodes, you can watch them right here on WUTV or on our website. We'll be right back.
Ah, listen now. Can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now. Can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
UWG students and staff members hit the pavement for their annual National Walking Day event. The event was hosted by the Wolf Wellness Organization in an effort to encourage faculty and students to get active and be healthy.
Event organizer Rodney Bird says this event is a great way for both students and staff members to come together and work towards a healthier life.
In order to get our employees, our staff, our faculty, and even our students out and just to get them moving so they can get healthy.
I did it last year and joined the group, and then it got me actually walking at lunch by myself. So enjoy it.
Well, hopefully this week we can get out and have some nice weather and go out for a nice walk.
Absolutely. Rebecca, how's the weather looking?
Next week will be a great week to go outside and enjoy the weather with temperatures in the high 70s and even mid 80s. But before I get more into next week's forecast, this week's weather trivia question is, how fast does the sound of thunder travel? Stay right here. I'll have the answer after the break.
This job looks perfect. It says you need people skills.
Check.
Driver's license.
Check.
And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume, not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back. Here's some video captured by our producer, Larissa. As you can see, we are well into spring with lots of rain and thunderstorms. Before the break, I asked, how fast does the sound of thunder travel? If you chose A, you're right. Thunder travels 1 mile per 1 second. Speaking of thunder, we will be seeing some thunderstorms this week. Starting on Tuesday, we have a high of 80 and a low of 61 with a chance of scattered storms. And on Wednesday, we have a pretty warm day with a high of 84 and a low of 62. On Thursday, another high of 84 and a low of 65. And on Friday, we do have a chance of thunderstorms with a high of 78 and a low of 59. And a beautiful spring day on Saturday with a high of 78 and a low of 58. That was your 5-day forecast. Here's Bryson Shoemake with sports.
Both West Georgia baseball and softball traveled to Cleveland, Mississippi to take on Delta State in a GSC series. And the awards continue to pile up for UWG basketball standout Deontay Stocks. I have all that and more after the break.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
Hello, I'm Bryson Shoemake with your WUTV Sports Update. The West Georgia softball team was looking to pick up some much-needed wins as they traveled to Cleveland, Mississippi to take on Delta State in a 3-game series. The Wolves fell short, though, as they lost 2 out of 3 games. They lost 0-8 and 4-7, winning their lone game 8-4. Randy Phillips, who leads the Wolves with a .375 batting average, went 6 for 11 on the weekend, scoring 3 runs and blasting her team-leading 7th home run. Jordan Corbin went 5 for 11 on the weekend, knocking in 4 runs and scoring twice. The Wolves will now look forward to a doubleheader against Georgia Regents April 7th and will then head south for a weekend series against Valdosta State April 11th and 12th. The West Georgia baseball team looked to continue their push for the top spot in the Gulf South Conference as they battled Delta State in a 3-game series. The Wolves played well, but fell just short as they lost 2 out of 3 games to the Statesmen. Each game was decided by a single run. Dalton Rogers led the Wolves' offense as he went 5 for 11 on the weekend, scoring 3 runs and driving in a pair. Jamie Sexton was once again outstanding as he threw 8 innings, giving up only 2 earned runs and striking out 6 batters. The Wolves will now look to get back to their winning ways as they will take on Miles College April 8th and then head to Valdosta State for a big GSC series against the Blazers. The West Georgia tennis team is closing in on their first winning season in 4 years as they defeated Emory Oxford in a 9-0 shutout, improving their overall record to 9-7. Sierra Brown won number 6 singles by scores of 6-3 and 6-1, moving her individual record to a team-leading 11-2 on the year. Whitney Maples won her number 5 singles match by scores of 6-1 and 6-0. The women's golf team took on a field of 13 schools as they competed in the Argonaut Invitational in Pace, Florida. The Wolves as a team finished an impressive 4th overall, finishing ahead of every other GSC team in the field. 3 Wolves finished in the top 10 as Stephanie Bennett, Maria Torres, and Lola Uribe all tied for 7th, shooting a total of .232 on the weekend. The Lady Wolves will now prepare for their GSC tournament that will take place April 19th through 21st. And finally, in basketball news, the Georgia Basketball Coaches Association has released their picks for 2 Division II Player and Coach of the Year, and both honorees come from the University of West Georgia. West Georgia sophomore Deontay Stocks received Player of the Year, and Coach Michael Cooney received Coach of the Year. That's all for your WUTV Sports. We'll be back after the break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
So recently in the news, there's been an ongoing investigation of 11 Atlanta public school educators accused of cheating on standardized tests and racketeering. An article from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that recently the educators were arrested immediately following the last hearing on Thursday.
Since the trial, the former educators have been booked in jail and are currently awaiting sentencing. The AJC also reports that the group is facing conspiracy charges, which could bring sentences up to 20 years. Many people have shared their thoughts on the sentencing, including some students right here at UWG. This week's question of the week is, what do you think of the punishment the former educators are receiving as a result of this case?
We'd like to hear more of your comments on this topic. Just look for the question on our Facebook page. The UWG pre-kindergarten program in the Annex building hosted an event for all of their pre-K students, an Easter egg hunt. The eggs were hidden by the teachers and students, and each class took turns participating in the hunt.
They certainly look like they're going for it.
Yes, they look like they had a great time.
They're so cute and little.
All right, Rebecca, let's get a last-minute look at your weather.
Yes, we are going to see temperatures in the high 70s and mid 80s. It's going to be a very warm week and just a few chances of thunderstorms, just normal April, springtime thunderstorms. So it's going to be a great week.
Okay. Well, that's all for WUTV News. Be sure to catch up on all the latest news Monday at 5 and 10 p.m. and Tuesdays through Friday at 12, 5, and 10 p.m. right here on WUTV News.
Now remember, we're on channel 13.1 on campus and channel 180 off campus.
And if you can't watch us, always remember you can catch up on the latest news online at www.westga.edu/WUTV/ or like us on Facebook at WUTV and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at UWG WUTV.
Well, that's all. Have a great day and we'll see you soon.